Hey there, Central Washington University accounting students. It's Ken Smith, your department chair. Really excited to bring you some new news at the beginning of this winter quarter. So I'm going to have the handout that I'll be reading from, and that'll be in the email. But first, I just want to say welcome back. We're really excited that you've chosen to look at accounting as a class or as a major and some of the new information. So in terms of career prep, we do a boot camp, and this boot camp is basically some site visits as well as information on how to do your resume, your cover letter, informational interviews, 30-second elevator speech. And so that class is going to be online in both the spring and the summer. So if you are getting near to being graduated and you don't have a job yet or you're trying to upgrade your job, you'll definitely want to think about taking that class in the spring. It will be online, so all campuses. And then if you haven't done that, not your job yet, but you're going to be looking for a job during the fall recruiting in September, you definitely want to take that in the summer. The second piece, we are going to offer starting next year, assuming it gets approved through the curriculum process, 2 fifth-year certificates. So one of them is called the Advanced Tax Certificate, and it's either going to be a certificate or a minor. It'll be 3 classes, and those classes would allow you to become an enrolled agent. And there's only 3 different ways in which you can practice or represent clients in front of the IRS. One is a lawyer, and that takes a long time to get. Another is a CPA, and that takes a good amount of time to get as well. The third one is this enrolled agent. You don't even have to have a bachelor's degree, but you want to be prepared for that. So this advanced tax certificate, and it could be either at the 400 level classes as an undergraduate, or the same classes are jointly offered at 500 level. You have to do more work in preparation to do them at the 500 level, but they're there. And those will be offered 1 class a quarter in the fall, winter, spring next year. The other one we have a certificate is the Professional Accounting Graduate Certificate. And so this is about, you might call it a mini MPA or mini master's. It has 3 classes, and these are classes that will help you pass the CPA exam and be prepared to be a CPA. And those are going to be offered in the fall, winter, and spring, starting in the fall of 18. The other thing that's cool about these is there'll be a lab associated with them. So there'll be a 5-credit class, and then each one of them has a 1-credit lab. And that lab is going to help bring in industry professionals and technology tools to make sure that you're going to be really prepared for your career. The third change in terms of career prep is in the new curriculum, we made a slight adjustment to the bachelor's degree. We're taking out 1 elective because we're moving some of the electives to these certificates. And then we're adding in AIS, the 455 class. And you can see I'm here in a hotel room in Southern California at the AIS convention for accounting professors. And there's so many exciting things that are in there. You really need to understand controls, how systems work, the system design, and so that's going to be added into the curriculum. So that'll be starting in the fall. If you're already on halfway through or started your major, you wouldn't have to add that, but starting in the fall, that'll be a part of the new major. And so we'll talk with your counselors and your faculty advisors on those details. But it's exciting news, and there's these opportunities to really be prepared for your career. The second big item, student leadership. The Student Society of Accountants has chapters in both Linwood and Des Moines. And for those of you who don't know, we have about 100 majors in each Linwood and Des Moines, and then about 200 majors there in Ellensburg. And so we're looking for volunteers for the Student Society of Accountants in Linwood and Des Moines. And so if you're interested in that, let me know. And then I've got my email and this Lisa Woods, our department secretary. Lisa's great. I'm pretty busy. I try to respond real quickly, but Lisa responds always very quickly. And so if you have any questions or concerns, you can send it to both me and Lisa, and we'll get you the information as soon as possible. For those of you who are in Ellensburg, the Beta Alpha Psi Accounting Finance Club, stay active in that. That's one of the things that the employers, I keep talking to them, they keep saying we want students who can communicate, we want them to work on teams, we want those who have been professionally active in developing themselves. And so these clubs are the thing. And then if there's another club that you're interested in, especially if you have a leadership role, even if it's secretary or treasurer, those are the things that really distinguish you. And so the accounting clubs are great, probably the best, but other clubs and organizations are fabulous as well. The third item, and this one's a little bit of a disappointment to me, but in terms of academic honesty, this is my second year as chair, and in the fall there was a couple situations of academic honesty that I had to deal with, and our profession just demands integrity, and it's a very high level, and we just can't allow ourselves to be pushed around by the pressure. I understand there's pressure to get good grades. I understand there's all kinds of pressure to work, family. We're all in that, and we always will. And everyone working in organizations is also stressed and under pressure. But we have to learn the right way to deal with that. And so if we're not going to do well on an assignment, we sometimes just have to accept that and say, you know what, I'm not going to do well on this assignment, but my integrity is more important than my grade. And that will always be the case. So if you're feeling pressure and you need to talk with someone about that, or if you're seeing some classmates under those pressures and or making poor choices that are not consistent with our academic integrity code of conduct policies, let me know. Let them know. Let's talk about it, and let's nip it in the bud early before it gets to be something we can't manage. But we're very serious about the academic honesty policy. Those of you that had my class, I oftentimes say, I care very deeply about academic honesty, our profession. If I'm aware of ways in which you have not upheld our profession, I'll seek to, if you are a certified individual, get you uncertified. And I'm serious about that because a strong profession has to defend itself and have a very high standard. First talk with someone when you see something going on. Say, hey, is this, I see this. Is that really what's going on? Or is that okay? And then if they continue and engage in that, yourself or others, we have to, to continue to increase kind of the intervention on that. But academic honesty, professional integrity is so important to us. That's a non-negotiable. And those pressures, we're not gonna succumb to that. And we're there in our organizations to help them not to succumb to that. The last item, student survey. We're really excited to hear about what students are thinking and wanting to do and what's working well, what's not. Sometimes I use this, a colleague taught me this, keep, start, stop. So let's keep doing what's working well. So we need to know what that is. Let's start doing a few new things, probably that would help. And then what might we not need to keep doing? So what could we stop doing? So I want to get some of your feedback on that, and I'll have a draft and then maybe a little subcommittee if some students would really like to participate on that, and even set up a student advisory board. I'd like to have 2 to 3 students from each of our 3 largest centers and advise me and tell me what's going on, what's working, what's not working. We're here to serve you as students and to prepare you as professionals, and the more we can interact with each other, the better off the whole system will be. So on that student survey, we'll send out a link, or you can just send something right away, some questions to ask. In terms of class offerings, that's always that's my biggest responsibility in some sense, is setting the schedule, making sure that it's going to work for you. So you need to know if you want live classes, online classes, hybrid classes, when you want the classes, and then the kind of projects and or what's working well in those classes. And now we have the student evaluations, and those are good, and we like those. We look at those, and we use those to adjust our classes, but just even kind of an overall perspective. So thank you for taking the time. We really want you to succeed. Our motto for our mission statement for the college is to launch students into their career. So we really want to find out what are the tools and techniques, the skills, the interactions, the connections you need so that we can help you to be successful. So reach out to me. We'll be reaching out to you, and I hope you have a great quarter.